I tried to crop out as much as humanly possible, but tried to obtain what I could. There's not much more I can do about the wires because definitely not Game Gear. Yeah, that's I was actually going to zero in on the Predator 2 card in the Genesis. But there actually is another Predator 2 game on the Master System, possibly Game Gear, but it plays completely different. It plays completely different from the way this does. So for Predator 2, the only major difference in the difficulty at all is based on how many hits you can take with the flak jacket and how many hostages the Predator can claim. You and believe me, you don't want to get in the habit of letting the Predator claim too many hostages because the instant the Predator claims any more than the allowed amount of hostages, no matter how many lives or energy you have left, the game is just completely over. So you definitely want to get in the habit of just rescuing as many hostages as humanly as possible. Other than that, starting in 3, 2, 1, go. The basic premise of the game is there's a lot of a war between various drug dealers on the streets. They've captured their hostages all around that need to be saved. And when you hear them in the vicinity, all screaming help. If you eventually don't rescue them, you'll see 3 red dots that resemble one of the head predators, and you definitely don't want the predator to claim any of them. You have access to a couple of variety of weapons, more of which shows up the further you get in the game. Fortunately, throughout the levels, you'll gain access to plenty of flak jackets, and you will need them because you'll take a lot of hits very quickly, especially from gunshots. At least as of the first 2 or 3 levels, the predators, the 3 red dots resembling the predator, is very slow when it comes to going after a hostage. But that all changes mostly after level 3. If the red dots are slow, mostly it's going after a hostage. If the red dots are going fast, it's coming after you. So basically, just when learning the game, it doesn't take too long to figure out where the hostages are in general. But you'll definitely want to have some sort of. You'll definitely just want to follow maybe a specific path along said walls to follow the hostage. You'll also see arrows that'll point you towards those hostages too. Now in Act 3 is where the Predator starts getting more aggressive. That was unfortunate. Mainly because I was thinking about it of particular different hostage location and not sticking to the wall. Because normally the deaths in this game won't really start until level 5. Now the street levels, you'll see at least 3 of them in the game. And each one of them are longer every time. And always at the end of a level, when you see the exit sign, the Predator is basically coming after you. Now sometimes if you reach a door and it doesn't open, you'll have to back away and let the door scroll off screen while avoiding the red dots. Usually some kind of odd hit detection. Level 4 is very short, and also where you start seeing more of the underlings for the aliens. Now this is the start of the game where there's not only plenty of hostages to rescue, but the Predator is also a lot more aggressive as well. If the Predator is not actually aiming for you and you see the red dot, you'll know so easily because you can be in the same sprite level as the red dots. And the Predator is not trying to claim you as its prize. Some of the weapons that you gain access to, some of them are a lot more useful than others. Shotgun is particularly useful for level 7. The grenades and your regular Uzi is definitely good for just about everything else. It's unfortunate that the enemy shots are actually almost very accurate. Yeah, you only have so much room to dodge some of those shots. I'm more worried about any of the regular bullets than any of the Predator. See, that's a bad position. That's a bad position for the 3 dots to show up. Because if I tried to make my way to the door, it's a possibility that I would have lost a life right there. Now, starting in level 4, you gain access to some of the alien technology. And that particular rotating disc is actually very useful. It'll last for quite a while. So basically, once you get to this point of the game, just start using a good majority chunk of your weapons. There's plenty more to go. There's plenty more of them. But definitely keep the grenades. Definitely keep the grenades highlighted for helicopters and some of the other vehicles in your way. In the options menu, there's also sound where you can turn off the bullet sounds from your main weapon. So the truck shows up again for level 6, but the level is not over. 3 helicopters show up. Get rid of them very quickly. Let the door scroll off screen, just in case. And go for the exit. Now you're inside the alien ship with the most amount of hostages you have to rescue. You'll see no more of the drug dealers around. But taking their place is nothing but the alien predators themselves. In this level, it might be a bit hard to see where the 3 dots are going to show up, specifically because of how the background is camouflaged. Those yellow barriers that you see is kind of like a small checkpoint. Once that barrier goes up, no enemies nor you can get past it. The next step that some of the aliens use are actually quite dangerous, because not only do they stall you from moving, you'll also take a lot of hits while being pushed back. And if that wasn't enough, you also have to deal with all of these shots being. You have to deal with all of these shots being thrown from the wall. And at times it's easier to just take a death than to try to dodge all of them. To this day, despite how many years I've been playing this game, I've never been able to get through the game without taking deaths in level 7. Which, even if the deaths don't cost a lot of time, taking a few deaths does. But they still only take so much time. Yeah, those particular rotator discs are actually some of the most useful weapons in the game. It's not as effective against you, but it's definitely more effective against all of the aliens. Her death will happen here, most likely. Now the Predator gets extremely aggressive here. So not only is it going for hostages, it's also coming for you as well. And sometimes after rescuing a hostage, and see, just like right there, I almost didn't see it because of the level of camouflage with its red-orange hue. Fortunately, the last of the hostages you need are in this particular area, which there are only 2 more. You go for the exit. Now to deal with the head Predator. Now you would honestly think after everything you've been through, you would have an extremely hard fight. Nope. Stand to the side, fire whatever weapons you want at it, and time comes up as soon as the head Predator starts kneeling. And that's time. The head Predator recognizes the character. And all you're basically doing is just escaping the Predator ship. And other than that, that will be it for me for SegaThon. And hopefully everybody enjoys the rest of the marathon and weekend. I believe next is JKL with some games as well. Thank you for your reviews, everyone, and thank you for having me as well.